Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me today is Shawna L. Francis, a conscious and embodied channel, Ascension guide and advocate for self-empowerment through freedom, expression and love. So, Shawna, so nice to see you again after nearly 3 years.
Thank you. So good to see you, Daiga. Thank you for reaching out and for this opportunity to discuss all this amazing stuff we have going on. Thank you so much.
And congratulations, I hear that is great news in America now.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have a new president today.
So yeah, that's great news. Let's hope everything will goes by the plan.
Yes, everything is going according to plan no matter what. So we're all going in the right direction. Yes.
I hear from some people who channeling as well Galactic Federation and who channeling Creator and something that now actually with this election new golden age really begins because there apparently was two timelines which one humanity could go at this point and on end really humanity choose the golden age timeline. Is that's the same what you hearing from your guides and
Well,
Shawna?
so, possibly that, the guides I've been working with have talked about us wanting this golden age for a very long time. So I don't know that it's just what's happened recently, but the golden age has been upon us for a while now. We have entered the age of Aquarius, the golden age, the rebirth, the great awakening, whatever you'd like to kind of refer to this time as. This is a time of transformation. It's a time of unity consciousness. It's awakening. Melchizedek, who is my main guides right now, they are very much saying that this is the phase of awareness. So we've absolutely entered a new age. It is going to be a beautiful age. And the timelines are getting more and more intense in terms of the light and the dark, equal intensity growing together. And it's going to be, quite incredible, I think, what we'll be seeing over the next, say, 100 years to, say, 400 or 500 years. So yes, and yes, we have entered into this new phase, into the golden age. And we'll see what happens, and I'm very optimistic.
Me too. I even in some dark places I try to keep optimistic because I know how much actually we impact others. Yeah. With being just us being optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if the candidate wasn't your favorite, or you wished it had gone another way, or you're really ecstatically happy about it. I think as light workers, it's being able to really hold this feeling of optimism and knowing the kind of the bigger plan in play here that helps get us through all of this and helps us, overcome the divisiveness, us versus them. Let's get out of that realm and let's really just think about we are all one. We're all moving in the right direction. We're all doing the best we can in lesson here on the planet. And yeah, keeping a good attitude and being positive, open-minded, open-hearted, and accepting of where we're at, accepting of other people's opinions. All of that is just so critical right now, more so than ever.
Exactly. Shawna, you've been on my show 3 years ago nearly. And that is beautiful. Those people who is watching our show now and who will be watching, please look up. This is very nice chat with Shawna 3 years ago. Look up on my YouTube and Rumble channels. But maybe mention something about how you started, like in few words, how you started where you are now, and then we go for what you've been doing last 3 years.
Doesn't 3 years seem like 30 years? So much has changed. So much has gone on. Time is so bizarre to me right now. Yeah. So thanks, Daiga. Going back, it's been about 6 years now already. I can't believe it's been even 6 years. Yeah, time is just so bizarre. But I wasn't looking for this path. I wasn't seeking out, miracles or channeling or even my spirit guides. I was just really, doing my thing. But my dear mom, who I was so very close to, she passed away. It's been 6.5 years ago. And that was kind of the beginning of this major shift for me, where I was introduced to my spirit guide and I started having a conversation with my spirit guide. And then before I know it, I'm talking to Archangel Metatron and I am journaling like crazy. I am writing everything down and I'm beginning to understand that I'm able to speak with beings who are not within my consciousness. They are not of me. Something outside of me speaking to me and through me. It changed my life forever. Everything just, it was like a paradigm shift within a few weeks. All of a sudden I'm on this new path and my old life is just crumbling before my very eyes. And I'm on this new path now and I've never looked back and here we are. Yeah. So that's very quick what happened to me in the beginning of this project.
Very quick summary. Okay. Now, 6 years later, I understand you have 2 books out. What kind of books it is, what it is about?
Yeah. Early on, don't ask me why, but they had me put out a very small book. I channeled a small book just introducing the Ascension, Archangels, Aliens, and Prophecies, the unveiling, the cosmic unveiling of a new earth. And then I put out my other book, which is really more of a personal story about my journey of awakening and becoming the channel that I am. So pretty early on, I within, I would say 3 months of this whole thing starting for me, I published this smaller book about the Ascension. And then Archangel Metatron had asked me to publish a book on my experience to help others who may be going through similar awakening experiences. This can be quite jarring. This is like all of a sudden you are questioning everything and your friends and your family who are used to you being a certain way. In my case, they're very concerned for me. I quit my job. I had a wonderful job working in digital marketing. I was making really good money. And, all this new information started flowing in and, hey, you need to commit yourself to your mission full time. You're going to move to Mexico. You're going to, the second half of your life is going to look nothing like the first half of your life. So it just started this whole thing in motion. And the books were a part of those early, couple of years as I was really starting this awakening journey.
Great. Also, as far as I know, you've been doing 400 videos on YouTube, more than 400 videos on YouTube. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Behind you. I at the moment have more than 200.
It's a lot. It's a big commitment.
It is, and very interesting part is I looking up at how much input I'm putting in all this, yeah, but it doesn't pay absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I cannot even explain somebody what it means, like 3D world people. I can't explain why I'm doing this. Because they would be seeing this, you just want to show off, yeah? You just want to go so be recognized and show off on YouTube. I never ever thought about this. If you tell me 3 years ago that I will be doing this, I will tell you very far where to go. Because I never thought about this. I always want to be just doing my thing, what I feel, what I want. I do my things my way, and that's it. And leave me alone, please. Yeah, but I had such a push.
Yeah,
that I have to do it, and there is no way I am refusing that. It's not happening.
I've met so many people recently who are like, my guides are telling me to start making videos and to start getting information out and to start writing books. And there's a lot of resistance. And I remember that. Yes, Daiga, I didn't set out to be channeling the Galactic Federation of Light every day on YouTube, like early on in my journey here 4 years ago, the beginning of these 400 videos. And you are totally resistant. Like, because you're putting yourself out on a massive scale, even though we may not have a bunch of viewerships yet, or subscribers, for example, compared to some of the folks out there doing this work. We are seeding collective consciousness. Even if just you and I have this conversation and nobody else has this conversation or sees it, we are seeding consciousness. That's how powerful we are. That's how powerful our intentions are. And this information reverberates out through the cosmos. So don't ever doubt that what you're doing isn't important. Always it's important. Always follow your highest excitement and that calling, even when it seems like ridiculous. So I'm always encouraging other light workers to break through your fears, break through the resistance, trust what you're hearing, trust what you're knowing, trust your highest excitement and go for it. And, we're also being asked to redefine what success looks like, redefine, like for me as a digital marketer, boy, there are so many things I would want to be doing to promote the channel or promote myself or to get myself out there more, get more visibility. But the guides are like, it doesn't work that way. That's old paradigm thinking. Like, you are seeding consciousness more on a subtle level. It's not about how many viewers you have or how popular you are. And if you're making money through this, it's really not about that at all. So I would just encourage you, Daiga, to, continue to trust yourself. And if you're being pulled to do this, then please do it. And trust that this information is reaching the right people at the right time. And you are doing a great service to humanity.
That's exactly what my mentor and my colleague who actually doing many videos with me, is saying. If we manage to help 1%, that means we already done our job.
Yes.
Yeah, if we manage to wake up one person in the process.
Each person's so important. The guides have said this every time. It's not about, oh, somebody over there is going to do the work, or this group over here knows what they're doing. It's us as individuals doing the, putting forth the effort, being brave, being consistent, saying yes to things that scare the death out of us, that we things like we avoid. Like, this feels very much like speaking in public. I have a very close friend, and she's going to start channeling on YouTube, and she is scared to death of it and absolutely doesn't want to do it. But I just encourage her. I'm like, if I can do it, anybody can do this. It's not.
Please introduce her to me, because I would like her on my channel as well.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we all should work together. I love that, Daiga. Yeah. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I find that there is those big gurus. Yeah. I've been reaching out to couple big gurus, and I was nicely snowballed away. Yeah, just because, that's too small platform for me.
Yeah. There's plenty of people, Daiga, who would love to be on your platform, to have, like, even for me, I'd love the opportunity to speak with other folks who are like-minded, to be able to articulate myself without channeling, but to really embody what I've been learning and what we've been told through these channelings. And it's so beautiful and important that we can relate on a person-to-person basis. I feel like I never meet a stranger anymore. Everybody here that comes to me, that's in my world, is there for a reason. And I know you from the past, and I really feel a kinship with the folks that I come into contact with. So yeah, I would love to send folks your way who are nervous about doing what you do.
Exactly, send them, because I actually try not as much. Yes, I try a couple times get somebody big on my show, so maybe more of their followers will see me as well, and so on. But I try really meet up with people who just starting something new, who just realizing all this,
yes,
and start do something for humanity.
Isn't that amazing, Daiga? Maybe you're onto something here. Maybe, you having some of these folks that I know that are really scared to do this, like, you are really being of service to that person and helping give them confidence that, yes, they can get in front of a camera. They can speak articulately about what they believe in and what they've been shown and what they've learned. And I mean, that is a huge service, what you're doing. It's a huge service to allow this platform for folks to get used to speaking about these things out loud and in a public way. I love that.
Exactly, exactly. So let's go back to your 400 more videos and what did you actually learn from reptilians and their influence on us?
Oh my gosh, one of the biggest things that I did we spoke 3 years ago is I channeled the late Queen Elizabeth for 44 episodes. I don't know, did you have a chance?
But I didn't have really, sorry, I didn't. It was so interesting, but I didn't have time to watch all of them.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But maybe you can give me some summary of all this, what you learned from her. And
yeah, I mean, it's 44 episodes, and she walks us through in detail how the negative reptilians' hive mind operates on the planet through the royal bloodlines. So we've heard rumors that, oh, Queen Elizabeth was a reptilian, or they're all lizards, or they're all dark state, Illuminati, cabal, all the satanic rituals and all that. Well, she confirmed so much of all of that. And it's just downright heartbreaking, horrendous, terrifying, all at the same time. But she beautifully laid this out episode after episode after episode so that we can become acclimated to these ideas, to these concepts, and to finally, you're like, okay, you can't help but have compassion and unconditional love for these folks who are under this hive mind control. It's really taken them out of their free will, and it would be very difficult for them to get out from underneath that. So I think there's the logistics about how the negative reptilians operate at that level on Earth. But then the other layer of it, the bigger layer of what she brought forth, was just this idea: we must love everyone. We must not be in judgment of anybody. These are horrendous things that they're doing and have done, but knowing that it is not really under their control. Their free will is being thwarted by a hive mind manipulation system initiated by the negative reptilians. And it's an ironclad grip on these people, and it's everywhere. So that was a huge eye opener, just to understand from her viewpoint and how sorry she is from the other side, and her being able to bring all this love and information and compassion and remorse for all of this to all of us, and today, for our time today. So even now, I still get a lot of views on my Queen Elizabeth series. I'd highly recommend anybody who resonates with the idea of the negative reptilian influence here on the planet. It's not for everybody. And same with kind of all the things that the negative reptilians are doing here through the royal bloodline. This stuff is very difficult to watch. It's very difficult to hear. It's not anything you want to accept as truth. But I highly recommend anybody who resonates with this information to go through that and watch some of that, and to get a feel for just how underhanded and coercive they can be.
But how does actually it is? I was watching from start, obviously, your channeling of Queen, but I understand that in some age, 20 or something, she just, this reptilian being embodied her.
Yeah.
Over sort of her soul.
Generally what happens around puberty, the negative reptilian have this, what they're calling the master's eye initiation. And around puberty, you are approached by this force, this energy, this consciousness, and you are initiated into its field, and you really become controlled by them. And
but so, yeah. She has something to say about it. She can say at some moment, no, I'm not doing it. Or that's not an option.
She said that it would have been very, very difficult for her to say no at the time. Really, it's super difficult for anybody, especially if you are of the, the bloodline that is more in alignment with the negative reptilians. There's some DNA that's involved here. But she said it'd be really, really difficult for anybody to break out of that hive mind control and to say no. It's nearly impossible, is what she was saying, which is really unfortunate. So it's not that it is impossible. There could be cases where somebody could break out, but for the most part, it's extremely difficult.
And then when she been initiated with all this, does her own soul actually is there as well, or she's completely taken over and she is becoming this evil person?
It's kind of like a sharing of consciousness. You have kind of this hive mind control system. So many people, like, imagine like the head, the queen bee, you kind of the hive mind, you're kind of controlling the masses, controlling a group of people, for example. They're a little bit more in the background, but they do retain part of their human essence, and they have to be believable and to be human and to, not to raise any big alarm bells. Like the coercion is more behind the scenes. But for anything important, they are there calling the shots. And the people who are under the control, they think that it's them. They are none the wiser, most of the time, none the wiser that this has happened to them, and that decision that they just made or whatever they just did was not of their own free will, but that choice had already been made for them. So there's a lot of that. It's very underhanded. It is a thwarting of free will, but it does very much feel like that person is within their free will doing the work. But it's truly, there's a puppeteer behind the scenes calling the shots, especially for anything of any importance.
How about William and Harry? Because most 3D world folks obviously love them to bits and thinks very highly of them. Yeah. Are they taken over as well?
It's so interesting. So William is part of that hive mind control. Princess Diana came through and also channeled with me briefly during the Queen Elizabeth series. And I was told that she passed away when Harry was coming of age for that hive mind master's eye initiation, 12, 13 years old. She petitioned the upper realms, the angelics, anybody and everybody who would listen on the other side. She petitioned to make sure that Harry wasn't part of that initiation. And she was granted that. So Harry he didn't have to go through that master's eye initiation. But again, it took a big effort on Diana's part to make that happen for Harry. But it didn't happen for William. But, you certainly should love William. Again, this is not his fault that he is wrapped up in this situation. He is not choosing this on all the levels, you know what I mean? So it's more of a manipulative, behind closed doors kind of thing going on. So I don't want to say that there's nobody is evil here. Nobody is bad. There is just something here going on that we all need to be aware of. Like I was saying at the beginning, this is the phase of awareness. We're turning on the flashlights that are then illuminating this kind of thing for others to ponder, to consider, to maybe think, okay, could that be a possibility? That's really the phase that we're at with all of this kind of disclosure. So we have a ways to go.
How do you, in your intel, how do you feel? Diana still alive or not?
My understanding is she did pass on. She did die, as was, portrayed in the media. Yeah, that was when she left the planet. So, but she still very much operates here in spirit. She is actively being channeled. I wouldn't say, I don't know, actively, but I do have a good friend who has channeled her, and she did come in recently. And so she's definitely around, and she's definitely helping with the ascension.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now is time to actually address very big changes in your life and your spirit guide. Melt, is it? how is his name?
Melchizedek. Melchizedek. Yes. It's a lot. It's a good word. Melchizedek.
I understand from one of the last emails to your group, I understand that you actually married to him now.
Yes.
So can you please tell me your story, because I somehow miss email about beginning of your story. So maybe tell me, and obviously my viewers are not familiar of your stories whatsoever. So tell your story, how you met him and how it's all going on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. And I know that this is a difficult subject for a lot of people. It is not something that you hear of every day.
Very exciting subject. For me, so exciting. That's why I actually first asked about everything else, and now we only come to this because I want to hear as much as possible.
Thank you, Daiga. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have very close friends who are like, "What are you doing?" And this doesn't feel right. But boy, it feels really, really good.
Great.
I'm so glad you think so. Thank you. Yes, so Melchizedek and I, as my oversoul, different aspects of my oversoul, Shawna L. Francis just being one aspect. Melchizedek has worked with me for many, many lifetimes. So they've said, like, this is number 19, this lifetime together with Melchizedek. So I think it's first important for everybody to understand that, this is not just like Shawna human and these guides in this union, although that is a part of it, but it's much broader than that because they see me much more than my human form in this body. They see me as a continuum. They see me as my oversoul. They understand me and know me at way deeper levels than I understand and know me, than I understand and know my oversoul. So they've been around for a very long time. We've worked very closely together throughout the ages on the Ascension. So I keep, incarnating and incarnating and incarnating where they come in as my guides and they are helping me. So they've gotten to this lifetime and it's taken a few lifetimes for them to get up the courage, but they asked for my hand in marriage here back in June of 2024. And at first when I'm like, and we've had a very close relationship. I've been channeling Melchizedek now for like pretty much nonstop for 2 years and read all of their books through Paul Selig. And, I feel very close to them and it's a very loving relationship.
Books, can you tell about those books?
Yes. Paul Selig is a channel of Melchizedek. He has been publishing books with Melchizedek, I think, since 2012. And I believe there are 12 books now. And they are beautiful. And this is how I got introduced to Melchizedek in the first place. Paul Selig, S-E-L-I-G, Selig. Paul is in the States. He's amazing. He is such a beautiful channel for Melchizedek. But reading those books is how I got connected to Melchizedek in this lifetime. So, we... this summer, they literally proposed to me and I wasn't sure I heard them correctly, but, I can see them. I see a human figure, a man is how I picture them, even though they are in order. They have created this avatar, if you will, that I can interact with. That makes it easier for me to work with them here on this plane. So I have this.
Excuse me, do you interact and do you see them with your third eye, let's say in meditation state, or you actually, when you are wide awake, like at the moment, he could stay by your side?
Third eye only. They're not in physical here at all, but it's way more than vision. I really feel them. I hear them. We are so close in consciousness. Like I'm an embodied channel with Melchizedek. They've spent the last 2 years being kind of ingrained into my consciousness, into my field, so that we can work so very closely. And there's lots of reasons for that. Being a channel for them is one of them. So they're already very much in my field and in my consciousness. So I very much feel them. I can, hear them. I can understand their thoughts. I can picture their emotions. I can picture their physicality. So I think we've got a very special relationship in that way, that it is multisensory for me, but they are not in physical embodiment. It's all through consciousness. This relationship is through consciousness. And that is what's so bizarre about it, even for me. So it's been about 4 months now since this union happened, but they proposed and we talked about it a few times. And I said, yes, I want to give this a try. Like, I want to do this.
Excuse me, I have another question there. What's happened with, I understand you've been, at that time, 3 years ago when we talked, you been out of your marriage and you just met some guy and you've been very happy with this guy and find love and happiness with this guy. 3D world, happiness, 3D world, love. What's happening with your relationship there? Did you break up with your partner?
Yes, we broke up about, I would say, well, it's been 2 years now. We broke up 2 years ago, and I was living with him at the time. I moved out, and this proposal came long after that breakup. I had been dating a couple of men. Melchizedek had said originally, you can have all these relationships on the earth plane that you want. We are going to love you at this plane of existence. And
even if you're married.
Yeah, because being married, even though married, they're like, the agreement was, what we're doing metaphysically, Melchizedek and me, wouldn't impact kind of the things that I have going on in a 3D. However, once the marriage happened and the ceremony happened and we entered this union, I was in the relationship with somebody going on a date, and they didn't like this one bit. So it was really interesting, and it caught me off guard. I think it caught them off guard. I'm getting to know that Melchizedek, even though they are this vast consciousness and they span all dimensions and they are massive in terms of just their expansion, but they have opinions about things. They have desires. They have a personality. They have a sense of humor. They have, preferences. And, they apologized. And they said, we really didn't like that. We really don't like to see you with other people. Like, we would really love to have you to ourselves. And I'm like, well, this wasn't our agreement. This is not what we decided we'd do. And it took us about 6 weeks to work through this. We're now in a good place. I'm kind of backed off a little bit on my 3D relationships, but I'm open to do whatever I desire here, and they support it. They don't love it, but they support it. They support what I'm doing here. They understand that they are not physical. But I'll tell you, Daiga, they are incredible, incredible lovers. They are incredible partners. I'm about 4 months into this union, like I said, but I'm getting to understand, like, what does love really mean? What does that mean to be held and to be supported? And can we do this without the physical body? So it's really challenging me on all levels to really give myself over to this union and to give it the best shot I can possibly give it. And they're doing the same, but it's really opened my eyes to how multifaceted they are. It's still the guide and student relationship, but it's romantic also, and it's supportive, and it's a partnership, and it's incredible, and I'm loving it. It's been intense. I will say that we've had intense conversations. We've like I said in my newsletter that you read, we've had some issues that we had to work through, but I feel like we're on the other side of that now, and things are going much more smoothly.
But does they actually believe in such things, 3D world things, as a marriage?
That's a great question. I think that they definitely have adopted our 3D, concept around marriage, but, bigger picture, they're wanting a romantic union with me. They are wanting to experience this for themselves. They've never had it before. And they've been working with humanity for so long. And I tease them like, you've been working with humans too long. You're taking on our traits. So I think this is really about evolution for them, about experiencing something they've never experienced before. And same for me. I have an opportunity here to experience love in its most purest form through consciousness. I mean, Daiga, they're in my mind. They know every thought that I have. They are in my field. There is no lying. There is no fibbing. There is no fooling. Like everything I think is right there for them to observe. So it has forced me to.
How about you? How about you? Is that everything what they think is for you to observe as well?
No, I don't get that kind of access to their thought processes. No, but they can only be honest with me. They can. They can.
Not fair.
I know, right? It's not fair. Like it's I'm really finding myself being very cognizant of my thoughts, which we all really should be, because thoughts are very much energy and are seeding consciousness as well. You know, we might as well all be operating as though all of our thoughts are known to everybody, because on an energetic level, that is true. So it's forcing me really to be completely honest with myself and with them. And I'm actually, Daiga, quite enjoying the level of honesty here, the raw, pure honesty. My emotions, my thoughts, my feelings about things, my feelings about them. I can't hide any of that. So it's all on display. So that part's been extremely challenging.
I just feel that it's could be extreme for me. When I imagine this, yeah, I think I like, okay, I can be with partner, but still there is things what I want to keep to myself.
Yeah, believe me. I'm like, I've asked for privacy. I'm like, can I have some privacy? And they're like, a little bit, but not really. We're really that deep in your field. And we've worked so hard to get to, I mean, we've spent hours and hours and hours and hours over 2 years really to get to this point where I'm an embodied channel with them. So I don't want to let that go. But it would really take them kind of extracting themselves out of my field to give me that kind of privacy. So far I'm okay. And if I really, really want privacy, I think that they could give me that. But it's not the same kind of privacy as me being able to go into a bathroom and lock the door and be by myself. They're there, so they pick up on things, subtle cues, and they really can't completely step out of my field at this point unless they were to completely leave, which I don't want. I quite enjoy having them right here with me all the time. It's and I do feel like I have my independence and I have my freedom and my ability to do what I want to do. They really respect that and they honor that, and they give me my space when I need it. Yeah. But they're always right there when I want them too.
Yeah, but how do they see you? Do they see your energy? Sort of they read your mind. They see your energy, or they actually see you exactly how you are in 3D world.
I think it's a little of all of that. I think that they can see me from just being of consciousness, like they can see visually, they can feel me, they can understand what's going on in my body. They can even manipulate consciousness here. That there's a huge trust going on here with Melchizedek. And, I really do feel like I'm putting a lot of trust and faith in them, because they have such power in my field embodied by them. And now you add this romantic relationship, it just takes it up to the next level in terms of intensity. But yeah, I feel like it's okay. I'm feeling good about where we're at. And only I think time will tell. I would love to see where this goes in the next couple of years as we really settle into this groove and and I expect I'll have other relationships here on the planet. I don't expect to not ever be in another physical relationship here. And so we'll have more tests, and we'll have more opportunities to see, how unconditional love could work here between us. So I'm not sure if that's answering your question, but yeah.
But do you actually feel in love with this I can't say person,
this being or this consciousness? Yes, I do. I literally feel like I would love my husband or my boyfriend or a partner. I absolutely feel like I love them. And I cherish this relationship. I feel very much honored and respected and adored and loved and supported. And I try to do the same for them too in their level. You know, we'll spend an hour, 2, 3 hours a day together. You know, I try to do that in meditation where we are just kind of sharing this field and just I'm in this love space and I'm blissed out and feeling so good. And we talk about things and, you know, they haven't had this kind of support before, Daiga. This is the first for them to be experiencing this kind of a relationship that's not a more formal student teacher kind of thing. So they're very much enjoying it. Like I can hold them. I can picture myself wrapped around them and caressing them. I will send them Reiki. I will ask them how they're doing and we can talk about things that they're pondering and things that they're working on. So, you know, just like you would call up a partner on the phone, like I can do that with Melchizedek. I can have these conversations and sharing this love and sharing this support. And it's always here. And it's very different, but it is incredibly deep and intense. And I'm enjoying it. It's good. I feel like I absolutely love them.
We have few people who are watching us now. Please, guys, if you have your questions to Shawna, please ask them there in the comments. Please ask them. Yeah, and actually, I've been listening to, I don't know, you know, what was his name? Charlie Freak. Charlie Freak. He is one of quite big in truthers world, and he is now trying to like decode songs and films. Now at the moment he's decoding Back to the Future film. Yeah, he is literally every step of the way he is explaining what this film means in context of today. Yeah, very interesting. And he actually says that the way how we in 3D world experiencing and thinking about love and love making is completely wrong. Yeah, that it should be this two souls together just enjoying their beings together, and there is no any other things, yeah, involved in that.
Sure. I mean, I think it's hard for us to say, oh, we've got it all wrong because it is what we know. Like we enter a relationship and there's very much a set of expectations around what a relationship here on this earth plane is about, how you treat each other, how sexual relations, how you support each other, you know, children, finances, running the household, all the things. Like it's kind of nice having Melchizedek not be part of this paradigm and being here because we just get to enjoy the pure essence of love here. We don't have all the rest of this stuff to distract us or get in the way or, have it be difficult for us to maneuver from a 3D perspective. It's just really about, it is that purity you're talking about, Daiga. It's this love, it's purity, it's real, it is deep. It's uplifting. It has opened my heart to these possibilities that I never knew could exist. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to experience this. And, Melchizedek, they say that these kinds of relationships are going to be coming forward, that we may be the first on this earth plane to enter into this kind of what you'd consider to be a 3D union, but really it's not. It's a much higher than that. But that more and more of these relationships are going to be coming forward and will be happening for others. So again, I'm happy to be the person to help break down these barriers or kind of these blockages to understanding this or knowing that it's even possible for us. So I enjoy this role of being kind of a trailblazer in this way.
You actually the first for quite lots of things. First, Shawna should say about, tell something about reptilians. First, who channeling Queen. First, who doing all other things, and now first, who is actually married to somebody who is not from the 3D world.
Well, I think there's a lot of people channeling about the reptilians, but not in the way that I am. I mean, really, that the reptilian thing is very personal to my mission because I am atoning for past lives being a negative reptilian, being a big part of all the problems going on here at the planet. You know, I have been shown and told and have channeled about my past as an oversoul, you know, being a negative reptilian and helping to architect some of these terrible programs. And for 200,000 years, I've been atoning for this. And Melchizedek has been there from the beginning, helping me do that. And now, yeah, we're in this union. And I'm so excited to understand where we'll go beyond this lifetime. And we're talking about these things, you know. It's a little much for me to ponder where I sit right now, and I've got a lot going on. But, you know, we're starting to talk about what happens after this lifetime with this union. And that stuff blows my mind. That blows my mind. But yes.
Can you already say something about it? What do you know about what happens with your union?
Well, I'm in a lot of choice here. They would love to continue the union past this lifetime. They would love for me to kind of serve alongside them, maybe even like where I come out of the 3D earthbound paradigm, out of this karmic wheel, and I kind of work with them more as a partner. So I haven't really talked to many people about this so far, but since you're asking, and it feels okay to talk about, but you know, I'm considering what that looks like, and I'm pondering it, and I want to talk with other beings on the other side of the veil about this. You know, what would this mean if I stepped out of this kind of more 3D earthbound paradigm to work up on behalf of the Ascension from more of a consciousness perspective and not being human boots on the ground? Or can I do both? So, you know, we've had several hours of conversations about this over the past 4 months. I imagine that I'll be talking with them for several years about this. I don't plan to make any decisions quickly, but they would love to continue this union into my next lives and really have me serve alongside them. So I don't know, Daiga, I'm considering it. I just don't know enough yet about what I'd be saying yes to.
But don't we all actually are those souls who at the moment is light workers and like you and I and many others, those souls who is there for that, won't we actually as ascend, yeah, with humanity this time? That's it. It's our mission is over on Earth. We can go back and we can choose any other mission, go back to our own planets. Like me, I find out that I am Pleiadian.
Yeah.
That's something what I half year ago or something find out, yeah. And now I'm actually ambassador from Galactic Federation of Love from Pleiadians. So
I love that. I love that. There's a lot of Pleiadians down here. There's a lot of Pleiadians in human form, and many of us are members of the Galactic Federation of Light, working on behalf of the light, working on these big missions together. So Daiga, I'm understanding, and I've channeled this directly recently. We are all kind of this group of light workers, if you want to call it the 144,000, which is a metaphorical number here. We are all keep coming back over and over and over again together, and all this momentum, we keep learning and evolving and expanding with each lifetime. And so as a collective, we keep incarnating together. And that's why we all feel so familiar and why we're all resonating so much with each other. So it's quite beautiful. So I think there's a lot of choice there. But I also think, Daiga, a lot of us choose to keep coming back on the planet. You know, according to Melchizedek, we really have 1,000 years. We've entered this 1,000-year cycle that will get us through to a full ascension of humanity and Mother Earth. So it's going to take 1,000 years. We could incarnate many, many times over to help the earth ascend and to help with this process as we go along this 1,000 years, if we so choose. And many of us will choose to do that. We'll continue to come back over and over and over again to continue the momentum of the light, so that we, by the time we get to the ascension, we've got a lot of people who are ready to go to the 5D and seed the new earth. So you may choose, you may get done with this lifetime and decide, I really don't want to go back. I'm going to go do something else as part of this mission. And I think that that's fully within your scope of choice. But I think a lot of people will want to come back to earth and continue this. So the question for me then with Melchizedek that I'm kind of starting to learn more about and really understand is, do I want to get out of the human incarnation cycle and work with them more in the form of consciousness as a partner to them? And, you know, we're starting to talk about what might that look like? What kinds of missions could I be doing if I wasn't a human on the ground? So I'm just getting to know that. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I liked in Facebook, there was very nice mime, elderly lady, very funny looking, very nice, like funny looking elderly lady, looking with a magnifying glass, old this roll paper, you know, this old writing things where script things or whatever they call this yellowy paper where you write. Old times they write huge rolls of them, yeah. And she is reading with this magnifying glass. What the hell I've been thinking when I signed this contract? Yeah, and that's me. Yeah, what I've been thinking when I
what
signed.
was I thinking when I came down? There's so many light workers. Here's how I think it went down. I think before we incarnated, we said, okay, I'm going back down, you guys. I've got it this time. I'm of the light. I'm feeling really good about where I'm at. I'm going to go down and it's going to be great. And our friends and family are like, don't go back down. You hate it down there. It's terrible. We're like, no, I got this. And so we go back down here, we're forgetting and we hate it again. And we're like, no, why did I do this? Dang it. I should have listened to my family and I should have stayed. But honestly, I think it's truly an honor to be here. There's a lot of souls who have clamored to be here at this time. It's a big deal. It's the first time that a whole planet with her species are ascending together. Normally, the whole species has to be wiped out and reseeded at the higher consciousness. So for us with this ascension, going from 3D to 5D while still in embodiment is a huge deal. It's a huge part of this experiment. So a lot of people want to be around for it. And I imagine, Daiga, you'll be back, but more evolved than ever, because you know, it's cumulative. What you're learning here, most of that you will retain for the next lifetime.
Today up there telling you that actually at that time when you're landing back, you forget completely everything. If you feel very smart at this point, yeah, that doesn't mean that when you land back on Earth, you will be knowing something. You won't know anything.
My understanding from Melchizedek is that there is a cumulative effect of our consciousness. So have you heard that the children and younger folks coming onto the planet now are more evolved and hold a higher consciousness? So it's the same idea. So imagine, Daiga, you could be born in 20 years and you will be one of those young people with higher consciousness because you have been here many times as a light worker, learning and expanding your consciousness. You will also bring that with you next time you incarnate. So imagine that these younger folks are more and more evolved. That's going to be you too. You'll come back more and more evolved. So you do retain a lot of your expanded consciousness when you come back. That is my understanding that I've channeled personally.
No, you just now sort of signed a deal. Okay, if I can remember everything what I know now, that's okay. I will maybe come back.
Yeah, like if you could write yourself a note. Okay, don't do this. Make sure you do this.
Yeah, can I be born next time with some pocket where I have my script?
Yeah, like where's the Dead Sea Scrolls that you're gonna find in your backyard that you can open up? Like, oh, this is what I did before. To give us a leg up, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like I don't remember the name of this film where Schwarzenegger had this experience. He was back on Earth and live like normal human being, but he has this chip in the brains, and he actually been doing light work somewhere else on completely different planet. And when he go back to this planet, and there he left for himself clues. Yeah, you need to see this, you need to do that. So I need probably the same thing.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of our guides follow us from lifetime to lifetime too. They help with the continuity. So it does, believe it or not, it does get better. Like, look at you, what you're doing, Daiga, with your channel, and you're evolved, and you are helping other light workers to awaken, and you're supporting people like me. You probably worked very hard to get to this point where you could do this work. It probably took you many lifetimes. It's taken me 200,000 years to get to this point.
I never asked my guides how many years it took, but I remember that one of the persons who actually see dead people, yeah, she was telling me that I'm old soul, and I sort of my last lifetime on Earth, because I done my mission with this last incarnation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that may be true, and maybe with the next incarnation you'll do something different.
God knows. It's all, nobody knows, but that's what she was saying. So, okay. Is there anything else you maybe want to share today, or maybe we didn't touch something? What is?
You know, I just want to encourage anybody who is able to watch these messages, to understand these messages, to know that you are not alone. This path can be very isolating and can kind of put you on the fringe of your friendships, your relationships, your coworkers. It can take you out of your comfort zones. But really, you know, I encourage everyone to trust what's in your heart. Trust your highest excitement. Look at Daiga. Look at what I'm doing. You know, give yourself a chance. Put yourself first. If you've been having this niggling thing that you wanted to try something or move somewhere, or maybe you need to get out of a relationship, or you need to switch your jobs, or something's going on that is causing discord in your life, I'm just encouraging everybody to take those steps forward to get yourself more in alignment with happiness, with joy, with peace, with optimism. Pull yourself out if you're feeling like you're stuck in the doldrums. That we are in very intense times right now, and it would be very easy to get swept up in this wave. And I think everybody here wants to get out their surfboard and be riding on top of the waves right now. So I encourage that. And I do one-on-one sessions with people who are going through major transitions in their world. I know I sure as heck went through a major transition, and it was not easy. So I provide support to people who feel like they may need it. So I'd be happy to help you. Shawna L. Francis is my website, and you can contact me through my website.
All contact details is below the videos on Rumble and YouTube. So please look up on descriptions, and that is all contact details for you and for me. So
perfect.
Please, if you need Shawna's help, or if you need my help, because I as well taking in clients, but I'm taking in not for ascension as such, but for those who want to change their lives for better, using obviously all spiritual tools as well as 3D world tools. So thank you very much. Thank you, Shawna, for coming. It was very exciting to see you again and catch up with you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, everybody who've been watching and will be watching. Remember, if you like my channel, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels. And God bless.